Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today, I want to show you guys more evidence, more proof that institutional investors are buying behind the scenes. They're buying more and more and more and more Bitcoins, and not only Bitcoins, but altcoins, which is very different versus previous cycles. So for some of you guys, you're worried about Bitcoin going up and down a few thousand points. For others, like institutional investors, they're buying. They're buying billions upon billions of Bitcoin altcoins behind the scenes, and that is what we need to mimic. So today I'm going to talk about that, and of course, talk about what's going on around the world. All right, thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. 2 streams every day, 11:30 and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, so make sure you hit that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All right, guys, let's do this. Lively crowd today. Let's jump right in. Let me change my screen. Okay. Starting with Bitcoin, just like yesterday, and just like the day before, and just like the day before, we're kind of stuck in that weird channel that's between, I would say, 57,000 and 54,000. This morning we fell back again to 54,000, then we came back up. It's just hovering in that small little window, right? And anytime it falls a little bit, people, their hearts miss a beat, at least for some, right? But right now, while Bitcoin is stagnant, altcoins are doing pretty good. But while this is happening, the institutional investors, they're licking their chops and they're buying as much as they can. So that is what we need to focus on, because these guys, they know what they're doing. They play a lot of games. And they've been at it for a very, very long time. What they do is they buy low and sell high. Yes, that's a new concept for some of you guys. Rather than buy high and sell low, you want to mimic what these guys are doing, which is buy low and sell high. That's how you win. And also what these guys are doing, they're driving FUD, and I'm going to talk about one very big FUD article today. And also what they're doing is just basically hodling. Dollar cost averaging, hodling. So hodling. I like hodling. But that's what they're doing. All right. So Bitcoin is still doing that. If you look at the overall market cap, it's still soaring. And that's because BTC dominance continues to fall. BTC dominance is now 50.4%. Not too long ago, it's like 53%, and that was low already. Then 52, 51, now it's 50. And that's because you have, today, look at it, Ethereum is up 12%, and there's good reason for that. Not only that, Binance Coin is still strong, right behind at 11%. Even XRP is up, and today Uniswap is up. There's good reason for that too. I mean, you could see the altcoins are doing very, very well, and a lot of them, at least the leaders of their category, are really gaining on Bitcoin at this point. So while Bitcoin is stagnant, a lot of others are coming up in a big way, especially Ethereum. All right, so what's this? Let's get to the news. What is this FUD piece? And this is prime example of whales doing what they do, especially Wall Street whales, and that is Scott Minerd of Guggenheim. Now, when he first announced that he was very bullish on Bitcoin, everyone pointed to him as like a reference example of, hey, here's someone big, well-respected in the industry that is getting involved with Bitcoin. But since then, he's been doing 180s left and right, not sure what his real take is, I guess. We just don't know. But here's my theory. He has gone on air before. So right around Bitcoin was around 20,000. He went on air, did an interview, and said that, yes, Guggenheim is looking to buy Bitcoin and put it into their funds. The thing is, at 20,000, he admitted that they already submitted that proposal to SEC, and they wanted to add Bitcoin to these funds since 10,000. But he didn't know that Bitcoin would go up so much. So it went up to 20,000, and they still didn't get approval. And guess what? When Bitcoin rose up to 40,000, he said the same thing. He's like, Bitcoin is going to fall half. It could easily fall half. And guess what? Bitcoin didn't go half. It went up another 50%, went to 60,000, right? So, yeah. And now he's saying again, because I'm pretty sure that Bitcoin, I mean, I'm pretty sure that he didn't get approval yet because Gary Gensler just got approved. So his funds is probably waiting for that to happen. So again, he's driving FUD. He's saying, yeah, Bitcoin could go to 600,000 or it could crash down to 20,000. You know, again, so he's driving FUD. I had multiple people talk about this morning. They sent me an article through email, even my Discord, people are talking about it. I'm like, come on. It's pretty obvious what he's trying to do. He doesn't want Bitcoin to go any higher because he hasn't been able to add it to his funds that he wants to. So he keeps going back and forth, and this is what you don't want to fall for. This is what you don't want to fall for because these guys, even though they're well respected, big name, right? But what are these ducks? What are you guys doing? Are you guys spamming? But this is what they do. This is what they do. And you know what? If he gets approval to add Bitcoin into his funds, I guarantee you he's not going to come out and tell you. He's probably going to drive more FUD so that he could accumulate even more. You know, so this is what I'm saying. There's a lot of whalish games, and they come from some of the biggest guys from Wall Street too. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. You guys had enough with the ducks, man. What are you guys doing with these ducks? I'm gonna start banning people rather than putting a timeout. All right, moving forward. What else is there? Well, if you look at this is prime example too, right? I've been talking about how there's a lot of massive outflows. For example, this. I showed you guys this yesterday. All exchanges outflow. You have massive outflows that come out of the exchanges, right? But where are they going? Well, most likely it's because an institutional investor bought them and they're putting it into a custody service. That is why you have articles like this now that Gemini's crypto custody service has doubled since January, reaching $25 billion. All right. This is getting ridiculous now. So who is this guy that joined and all these people are now putting ducks? There we go. Okay, hopefully that calms things down a little bit. There we go. All right. All right, there we go. All right. Where are my mods today? Mods are all disappeared. What is going on here? Yeah. Okay. Rich Buddy, thanks for finally joining in. I don't know who Matt Kors is, sure, but spamming my live chat is not giving a good impression. So if you want to interview me, shoot me an email, but don't be spamming my chat because now it's just giving me more work. And obviously, yeah. There you go. All right. So now that I'm back on track, hopefully, I got sidetracked there. But this kind of shows you that, yeah, Gemini's custody servers have doubled, which means that there's a lot of institutional investors or very, very wealthy people that is depositing, right? And same thing, BitGo, now they also offer custody service, but they also offer crypto insurance, and they have now increased that to $700 million from $100 million. So $100 million to $700 million, that's a big jump, and that, again, due to the institutional interest and due to the deposits and so forth, right? So these are kind of things you have to pay attention to behind the scenes. You know, people look at these stories, they're like, so what, right? But you got to think, why? Why are they increasing insurance? Why is custody service increasing? Well, it's because the bigger guys are buying and depositing, right? That's what they do. So you got to pay attention to that. And you know what? Both of these custody service, Gemini and BitGo, You know who they're used by? They're used by my sponsor, BlockFi. Yes, that's right. BlockFi uses both of them. There was some controversy about BlockFi. I think I've said it wrong. Some people said that they don't have insurance. Yes, BlockFi itself doesn't have insurance, but everything you deposit goes into BigGo and Gemini, which both are insured. So since your crypto is safe, But I just want to mention that real quick. Also, if you look at Grayscale, we know, most of you guys heard of Grayscale before. You know that the assets under management for each one of these trusts just keeps increasing and increasing. Bitcoin is around 36 billion. Look at Ethereum now at almost just round up to 7 billion. And some of these other ones are also increasing very rapidly. They're not as big as Ethereum and Bitcoin, but they're getting up there. And today I mentioned why Ethereum is going up so much is because the world's very first Ethereum ETF has launched today, right? Purpose is the very first company or fund manager that came out the Bitcoin ETF in Canada. Now they have launched the world's first Ethereum ETF. So this could be very big for Ethereum. Recently I created a lot of videos about Binance, right? About how they're going to take over Ethereum. I still believe in that because of what's going on with the network, but institutional interest in Ethereum is definitely here. So this could carry Ethereum very, very far, despite the fact they're having congestion issues. Nevertheless, institutions love them. All right, what else is there? Well, also this. So according to this report, institutions are not only buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're also buying things like XRP, which is very surprising, but yeah. So according to this report, I pulled it up here, and they're looking at a few of these providers, right? I know Grayscale got rid of their XRP trust, but there's a few others. But according to CoinShares, there's a large inflow of money going into XRP. So XRP also, there's a lot of institutional interest. And also there's other ones like Bitcoin Cash, Polkadot, Binance, Tezos, and many others. So this could be the reason why. A lot of the big caps are much stronger now these days. It's because there's institutional money coming in, right? It kind of makes sense. They're all betting on the bigger boys, right? The ones that have the network effect and the ones that stand out from the crowd, right? So this kind of makes sense. So there you go. It's pretty obvious, right? Despite the fact Bitcoin may be going up and down this weird channel, you look at why altcoins are so hot, right? And you just look at what's going on behind the scenes, you'll realize that this is just one big game right now. Yeah, you don't want to fall for that. This is what the institutions do. This is how they fool you and they drive you out. They try to cause FUD. They mess with your emotions. And what they're doing behind the scenes is just buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. That's what we need to mimic and what we need to copy. All right. What else is there? I mentioned about Uniswap. Uniswap went up pretty big, 21% today. And that's because, they're getting ready for V3. So they deployed V3 contracts to 4 Ethereum testnets. So that means they're gearing up. V3 brings a lot of new things, including scaling, scaling, I would say, among other things. So a lot of people are looking forward to it, and they need to do something because PancakeSwap is literally destroying Uniswap right now. PancakeSwap's volume is, I should have pulled this up. PancakeSwap tweeted out saying that they have more volume per day just on PancakeSwap alone than all of Ethereum combined. That's how big they are. That's crazy if you think about it. That's really, really crazy if you think about it. So yeah, Uniswap, even though they're still the big dog, they need to keep on improving or PancakeSwap is going to take over. What else is there? I think that's pretty much, this is pretty much it. All right. So sorry for being a little sidetracked because of all the ducks. Matt Kors, I don't know who he is, but if he wants to interview me, spamming my channel with ducks is not the way to do it. All right. So as for CMC, I mentioned this already. There's a lot of good movers today. Very, very good movers. And you know what? I guess we'll talk about it. Look at PancakeSwap. Yeah, PancakeSwap is killing it. 18% today too. Yeah, and you have a lot of good movers today. A lot of good movers. All right, before getting to Q&A, I have a new sponsor, new channel sponsor, Aurox. Aurox. And they are, basically, they're a terminal. They help you trade. But you know what? They came to me with a proposal. They're like, hey, George, you're always on TradingView. Why don't you give our terminal a try? So I decided to look at them. I'm like, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. One of the biggest advantages to using Aurox's terminal is because you get TradingView and you get unlimited indicators without paying for it. Those of you guys that use TradingView, you know you have to subscribe to the higher tiers to get more indicators. Well, with Aurox, you don't have to pay for it. It's all included. So, and this is what it looks like. So going forward, I'm gonna start using this primarily because it is TradingView. It utilizes the same setup, but they add more. Everything's like a widget setup. So over here, you have a market overview. You can sort through what is the biggest gainers. You have order books for recent trades. Of course, in here, you could type up anything you want, and then it'll pull up, you know, any trading bear on any exchange, just like TradingView. Of course, you don't want to see these things. You could expand out and get a full view. You could have all these indicators at your fingertips, and they have their own custom ones, the Aurox ones, which they claim will tell you when to buy, when to sell. And you know, I haven't verified whether or not they're actually legit, but but here's a couple, like, you know, to tell you points, all that stuff, right? There's a lot of stuff that traders would like. But what I primarily like is the fact that you get all the indicators absolutely free. You get more features. You get tabs on top so you can scroll through many different coins that you may want to see. Unlike TradingView, which you always have to go through, right? So this also is a big improvement. And this is a light version. If you go to the grid version, which is the more pro version, you can add in other widgets, including alerts, when to get alerted. You could look at a depth chart, market overview. You could add in a whole bunch of other things to it. And you could customize basically what you want to see, what you don't. So it's very, very customizable. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. For all this is a grand total of $0. They're providing this, everything that you see, absolutely free. You go on their website and pull it up. That's it. You just have to create an account. That's why I think this is a really good product. So that's why I'm going to start using it in the future. So that's Aurox for you guys. So throughout the next few months, I'm going to show you guys more of it. And primarily just use this in my training, my main charting tool. All right, so if you want to check them out, their URL is in the description of this video. All right, I'll turn to you guys for some good old Q&A. Yeah, you guys need to really stop talking about, everyone's talking about SafeMoon. You guys really need to stop talking about it because you guys will get burned. I get all these professionals, like really like serious guys, and they're like, hey, you need to look at this project. It's for real. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's nothing they do that offers any kind of advantage to anything. And people are talking about, basically, you know, I'm seeing in the chat, you know, people are having problems with withdrawals. 50% of the wallet is controlled by one single person. There's just a lot of things. Anything that grows that fast, you guys got to be careful. I know there's a lot of newcomers in the space. They're just chasing gains, right? And when they see everyone talk about SafeMoon or Bonfire or anything else, they try to jump into it, but that's how you get burned. So I'm just saying that. I'm just warning you guys, right? Don't fall for those tricks. So Nate asked about Elrond. I think Elrond is promising. They've been skipped over by a lot of other blockchains. Like, they were pretty close, neck and neck to, I would say, Cosmos and even Solana. But those two have just really surpassed it. So Elrond's kind of like stuck in no man's land right now. It's not doing bad, but it's not having the same traction as some of the other big boys. The new Dogecoin. There's no Dogecoin ETF. Don't be trolling me now. Yeah, I'm not gonna look at that carbon. Matt did not request a duck raid. Okay, well, that's good. Again, just shoot me an email, george@cryptosrus.com. We'll get that going. Could you look at BPro's chart? I think they bottomed out for the first run, ready for the next leg up. Great project that just needs attention. I don't really look at the charts, okay? Because right now in a bull market, I think it's just silly. You don't need to look at the charts. Just know that right now there's a lot of exhaustion in the market. And what I mean by that is a lot of small projects that pumped up quite a bit, they're exhausted a little bit because not only did they go up a lot, there's a lot of concentration on the big caps right now. You notice, right? I think you guys notice. This is why the 50-25-25 rule works. 25% of big caps right now is really carrying people's portfolio, right? So you have to give them time. If you invest in a project that you believe in, that has a great leadership, great team, don't focus so much on a day-to-day or week-to-week price. Know that if you continue to hold and they continue to execute, they will come back and they will go much higher. This is the same case for people that held Cardano, for example, bought it in sub pennies and look at where it is now, right? Same thing with the people that hold Chainlink or even Doge under a cent, sub pennies, right? So that's my advice. Right now, don't worry so much about what the chart is saying. Mr. Core, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys clarifying that. Vincent, thank you. Thoughts on MDT and one staking on Binance? I mean, if you're holding it, why not, right? There's a lot of exchanges, a lot of services, including BlockFi and others that offer you, pretty good interest for staking. I know even like BPro, they're staking on KuCoin for BPro, but I hear it's always filled up. So if you're gonna hold it for a long time, excuse me, why not, right? What do you think about Senpai? I think I looked at this before. Unique concept of collectible NFT wafers and paintings that are cryptocurrency themed. If they all look like this, then yeah, no, I'm not interested. And it looks like they are because tokenized beauty. So yeah, that freaks me out. So I'm not gonna look at that anymore. What do you think about Holochain? I think they're promising. Just need to know what they're up to. Like I haven't really caught up with what their like future plans are. I know the premise. I know they're in storage. They're DAG. They can onboard dApps. I don't know, but I don't know what their bigger picture is going forward. Bernardo, thank you. Joshua, okay. There's so many Matt fans out there, so tell Matt I appreciate the gesture. I appreciate the apology. It's a misunderstanding, I guess, but I did have to ban like 10 people, which unfortunately I did not want to, but they kept spamming. Rocket Pool ETH 2.0 staking. I don't know what Rocket Pool. I know if you want to stake ETH 2.0, in my opinion, go with Anchor. Because Anchor offers you liquid staking so that you can stake and they give you like a synthetic token based on your stake, and then you could do something with it. So if you go stake, do some kind of liquid staking. Otherwise, your ETH is stuck in there. You have to wait for a long time. Maps. Ultimate travel companion, your passport to a new financial system. Travel more with 10% cashback at booking.com. 50% discount on mobile internet global. So they're a rewards platform. binding 100 million users. Where's the 100 million users? Or are they counting the 100 million users from Booking.com? I guess that's pretty good, but still, I mean, they're kind of stealing their thunder a little bit. Plus Robinhood. Yeah. I guess they could be good. They remind me of StormX. They remind me of StormX a lot, but I guess they integrate DeFi in there too. So maybe a little early, but yeah. Could be good. Could be good. Nate, appreciate that. Appreciate I was able to help you. Avalanche, in general, they're like a DeFi protocol. I don't hear much about Avalanche. They do have a very tight partnership with Frontier, so I think Frontier may be a more interesting play than Avalanche at this point. Ecomi, yeah, Ecomi is one of the ones that's, because they're NFT. NFTs are very saturated right now, so be careful. I would say NFTs overall, there's just too many out there. So right now, I think there's going to be a little bit more weakness, but the ones like Ecomi with the traction with the licensing, they'll stand out. But in the meantime, maybe a little weak going forward. RSR, I did more research about RSR. So they're trying to create an ultimate stablecoin, that doesn't deflate. I mean, stablecoins shouldn't, but it doesn't really make any sense because you're using stablecoins to back it. So it's a coin that's backed by multiple stablecoins, and it's supposed to be a day-to-day currency to be used for transactions, right? I still don't know why you need to back it by multiple stablecoins. I don't see why you need to do that, but doesn't interest me that much. GC, appreciate it. Ethic DeFi money, never heard of that before. It doesn't even show up. Sparta's interesting. They're built on Binance Smart Chain. They're trying to be a lending DeFi play, but I know they just came out with lending only, and then they're gonna come out their DEX and a swap, and then I think a loaning program. So they're kind of interesting. I like the concept because it's a small team, anonymous team. They look like they're working hard, but because they're so small, I don't know if they could come back. They had, once upon a time, they were growing big, but I think they kind of died down. Will ETH hit 10K this cycle? I think that's very possible. Very possible. Especially with the Ethereum ETF now that's launched. They're still the big dog, so I think that's possible. What's your opinion on long-term price for Cardano of Africa deal goes? I don't know what the deal is. I thought they announced it, but I guess there's a pre-announcement at the end of the month. What is entails? It could be huge. I mean, Charles been talking about that for a long time. We'll see. We'll see. Just general thoughts, because it's coming out on the 29th. I do expect that if the market does well, that Cardano should pump, because Cardano always pumps before the news, and then it stalls after the news. AMP, what's going to happen to AMP when it hits Coinbase and Binance? Well, what do you think? You already know the answer to that. But I like AMP. I like AMP a lot. What's your opinion on helium mining? A lot of people are doing it. You can't even get the miners. They're always sold out. So I think it's a great concept, a great use for, they call it mining. It's not really proof of work. It's just more that you're offering your services, and anyone that hops onto your AP, you get rewarded for it. So I think it's an interesting concept. Rather than staking or rather than solving an equation, you're providing service to the network. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Fractionalized NFTs could be a good play. No, I do not. I do not think so at all. NFTs right now, it's hard to judge value on NFTs. Besides some big sells, which because really rich people could buy them, how do you judge what the price is of one versus another? Now you're talking about fractionalizing NFTs, and that makes that price discovery even harder. And I just don't think it makes any sense. Buy cake or wait? Well, pancake has always been pretty steady. Steady, and then cake's going up. Steady, going up. So I would just say sprout your buys. That's the best way to do it. Sprout your buys. TXL or Room? All right, final few questions. I'll let you guys go. Interoperable smart contracts and dApps. All tokens on a single high-performance network. Okay. I've seen this before. At first glance, I can't tell you how this stands out from anyone else. So I'll do more research into them. Where are they? Where are they at? Yeah, Uniswap and PancakeSwap. I'll do more research into them. So Foos and their Post Malone Experience NFT auction going down 24 hours. Chances to win beer pong 1-on-1. Yeah. So, you know, I looked at Foos, right? And Post Malone I know is involved. And then West Coast Customs. But, like, I didn't see anything. I was digging through their Twitter, and there was, like, nothing. Like, it seemed like they weren't doing anything. So, if Post Malone is doing something on NFTs with them, great. But they don't seem like they have a lot of traction at all. Have you looked at DeFi insurance? Nah, it's horrible. Don't look at insurances. However, my mid caps are now big caps. Do you suggest taking gains on reinvesting small caps? Yeah, see, a lot of the mid caps like Theta, VeChain, even Doge. I mean, there's a lot of them that became big caps, right? So you have to just readjust. You just have to readjust. So, I mean, if you stick 50-25-25 rule, I think that's a good breakup. Obviously, if you have a little bit more in big caps than small caps, that's also fine, especially right now because big caps are moving so well. And quite honestly, they provide more stability than the small caps. So if you're making more from big caps and it's more stable and less volatile than small caps, why would you not hold on more big caps, right? So the whole point of 50-25-25 rule is to minimize risk and increase gains, right? And if you could do that with more big caps, then I would say go for that, right? All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, so looking at Bitcoin, it's still kind of stuck in that weird area, you know, this weird channel. But, you know, going forward, I think there's going to be big moves. I think right now is that consolidation period. There's going to be big moves. Oh, I forgot to show you guys one thing about this article in here. There was someone that posted this. This is a 2017 run. Although it looks very parabolic, there were many, many, many times where Bitcoin stalled and even went down as hard as 38%. And we haven't seen that in a very long time. Actually, most of the falls that we've seen recently has been just like 30% or 20%. And if you look at that, most of these corrections took about 16 days. And the recent pullback is about 7 days. So for those of you guys that are always trying to, you know, relate to what has happened before, well, I mean, right now it's very, very different than before, right? And I think what's going on is basically there's a lot of accumulation behind the scenes. You have a lot of whales that want to accumulate, Wall Street whales, I should say. They want to accumulate as much as possible, but they don't want to drive price up. They don't want to help you. They don't care about you. They want to care about themselves accumulating as much Bitcoin as they can. So if they could drive or keep prices down while they do that, that's what they're going to do, right? So we need to recognize that, and everything I've been showing you guys kind of shows what that's how that's happening, right? So pay attention. All right, guys, that is it. Last question: any recent flows not being added? I don't know. Probably because they had an ICO. That's probably the reason why. That is it. So smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned tonight for my live stream at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one.